it's Kimberly from StampinByTheSea.com, and I'm excited to have you back in my stamp room today. So today we're going to create this really cute box that can hold all kinds of things, from chocolates to tags, which is what I have in it. And it is a super easy box and fun to put together. So let's get started. Let's get stamping. So the first thing you're going to need is a 4-inch by 10.5-inch piece of Bermuda Bay cardstock. And let's get our Stampin' Trimmer out. And we're going to be scoring first on each of the longer sides at a 1/2 inch. We'll just turn this piece, score at a 1/2 inch. Then we're going to bring it up here. We're going to score it at a 1/2 inch on one end first. We'll turn this cardstock. We're going to go to the 5-inch mark, the 5.5-inch mark, and then we're going to score it at 10 inches. Now once you get all your scores created, it's going to look like this. You're just going to take your bone folder and make sure you have all those crease marks really nice and tight. One of the best things about doing boxes is you want to make sure the creases are tight, and that way the box will fit even better. So one of the things we want to do first with this box is we're going to stamp right here on the front of the box, and I am going to be using the I Think You're Great stamp set. We're using one of these border stamps. It's super cute. And we're going to use some Bermuda Bay ink. Now I'm going to ink this up, and what I want to do is fold in this crease here, because I'm going to come all the way down at the bottom and a little bit over and just stamp that right there. And on this one I'm going to go just a little bit more over, like that. Now the top piece I really am not worried about. I'll move those out of the way. And now we're ready to actually put our box together. Now one of the things that I did was I sponged just a little bit around the edges on the original, and you'll be able to see this better in photographs too. You can see it right there. All right, so now let's go ahead and put our box together. Now for just time purposes, I'm going to use a little bit of snail adhesive. You could use mini glue dots because these are tiny, or you could use Fast Fuse, which is also an awesome adhesive. I'm just going to make those sides there. I'm going to put some adhesive right here and right here. And now we have our box. Let's get it right here, Kimberly. Okay. Your first time you close it up, it may not want to bend as well as you want it to, but it will eventually. All right, so now let's go ahead and finish the top piece. So here you're going to use the Lots of Labels die cut in Whisper White as your base. Then we're going to bring in a piece of Whisper White 2 3/4 by 4 1/4, and that's what we'll stamp our tree on. Then you'll use 1/4 inch by about 4 1/4, and we'll use that for a little greeting that we're going to put on there. So the first thing we're going to start off with is our Festival of Trees stamp set. And this is an awesome set that is in your idea book and catalog. We're going to bring back the Bermuda Bay. I'm just going to ink this up. And I'm going to use a pad just to make my stamping a little bit better. Now the other thing I'm going to use is some Whisper White ink. And I'm going to just use these little dots for the tree. I'm going to get them nice and inked up. And then I'm just going to go, oh geez Louise, directly over that. My stamp did not want to stay on my block. It's been used a lot. All right, now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to use our tree punch. We're just going to punch this guy out. Look how great that fits in there. And now we have a tree. The next ink I'm going to use is going to be some Island Indigo. And I'm going to bring back this little strip here and my little greeting. And it says, "For lots of joy at Christmas." Now one of the things I want to do is go ahead and make a little banner edge using my hexagon punch. And we're just going to set that to the side because we're going to use that in just a few minutes to put it all together. You'll want to have one of these silver metallic doilies. We're just going to use a little piece, so you just need a piece about like that. And we're going to go ahead and put some adhesive on the back side of our lots of labels, die cut, and we're just going to put that right there on the back. Now I'm going to use a mini glue dot, and I'm going to put it about center there. And we're going to use this silver metallic thread, and we're just going to make a little messy thread. And I'm just going to go around a couple times. And I'll tell you, if you're doing many of these, just realize that your messiness, your messy thread is never going to look the same twice. So, and that is okay. Let's trim that a little bit closer. There we go. Now it's time to put our little tree on, and we're going to use, some dimensionals for that. Let's grab some dimensionals. And I'm just going to put 2 on the back here of our little tree. And we will cover up that glue dot. Now, one of the things I want to do for my banner is I'm just going to give it a little bit of a bend, and I'm going to stick a mini glue dot there so it'll stay. I just like this look. You can see it just bends over just like that. And I can fix it up if it's not lined up. And then we're going to stick another mini glue dot right there. And then we're going to need another one. But watch how we do this. We're going to stick this down here. I want a little bit of a bend. I know that bend is right there, so I'm going to stick my mini glue dot on. And just make it come up just like that. Now this is ready to go onto the front of our box. Now I'm going to trim this guy just a little bit more because he's a little long. There we go. And we're going to use some dimensionals. And then this is going to be flush right with our box. Just like that. So now let's create a tag to go inside our box. And I want to show you this cute tag right here. Super simple and super fun. Again, we're going to start off with one of the lots of labels in Whisper White. We're going to need another one of these for, it's just a piece of Whisper White. We're going to open up our Bermuda Bay ink pad again. I'm going to try to ink this stamp it without my pad here. We're going to come in and I need to trim that off a little bit. We're going to come in and just punch our tree. Isn't that a pretty tree? Now for this one, I'm going to take a little bit of Bermuda Bay of the, what is it? Bermuda Bay striped ribbon. I knew I'd get it. We're going to take this just like that and then take our tree and our lots of labels. Make sure that's just lined up great. And then we're going to take a stapler and we're just going to staple just like that. I used the silver foil with my star punch, and I'm just going to use a mini glue dot, and I'm going to apply that right over that staple. Now we're ready to put this on a piece of Whisper White. Now this piece of Whisper White, you'll see the measurements scrolling at the bottom because I don't know exactly what size I did. But we're going to use some dimensionals to put this on. Now we want to leave enough room at the bottom. Before we put that on, let's leave enough room at the bottom that we can do our to from. This is also in that same, the same stamp set, the Festival of Trees. And then we're just going to put this right over like that. Now the next thing we're going to do is just take a hole punch. I'm using a hole punch that's about 100 years old. At least. So now we're going to take the silver cording and we're going to just fold it in half like this. We're going to take it right here through that hole. And I'm actually going to tie it in a knot. A little bit different than what I normally do. You don't want to tie it too tight because then you don't want your paper to break. Then I'm going to come through here with this new Bermuda Bay very thin ribbon, and I'm going to tie a bow. It looks so festive. I love these colors for Christmas. They're non-traditional, kind of vintagey to me, and they just rock my world. And we're going to fix up that bow so it looks a little bit better. And then we'll trim up the bow so it looks much better. And there you go. You have a tag. All right, now to see all 5 tags that I've created, you'll want to go to my website, which is stampinbythesea.com. I'd love to show you some closer photos of the box too, and that's what I have for you today. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope to see you again, and happy stamping.